Hi guys, it's Chris, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And it's the third of the Ashton Bitter blends from Ross-on-Wye. I think they've all been blended with sharps, I think they have. Well, no, actually, Bramley is an eating apple, but it's quite acid eating apple. Newton Court, can't remember what that is. So I might have made that up. But this one is blended with a late season sharp called Reinette. There you go, Ashton Bitter with Reinette, wild ferment, as always. This one is 7%, so the Bramley was, what, 5.9, so Reinette is, it's got more sugar in. Basically, it says the same thing on the side of the bottle that it said on the other bottles, so I don't want to read it out again, but basically, they took Ashton Bitter and blended it with 3 different apples. 3 different sharp apple varieties. In fact, it says it's a sharp on the bottle. So 3 different sharp apple varieties to see what difference it would make to the final product. So this is 2020. Yeah. Let's just open it. Pop. Smoking gun. Nice smoking gun. Not too cold this. It's just been in my shed. It's been getting warmer lately, but actually today was quite cool. So actually it's not a bad temperature for tasting, if you ask me, which you didn't, but if you had, I'd have said it's not a bad temperature for tasting. Let's pour it out. So let's do it nice. Lovely mousse, there you go. Really nice mousse, same as the last one we had. Lovely mousse in that as well. So 5 grams of sugar per litre. Blah, blah, blah. This one's quite bright, isn't it? It's quite bright. It's a lovely pale amber. Very nice colour that. Lovely pale amber. Liking the look of that very much. Had a nice mousse on the top. That's dissipated quite fast. That is bright. That is really bright. In fact, that is... Ooh, is there any haze in that? Maybe a tiny bit. But for something from Ross-on-Wye, that's pretty bright. You see, a little bit hazy than that. It's a pretty looking thing. Let's have a sniff. I mean, it smells very similar. I think what I'm primarily getting is the Ashton Bitter on the nose. Slight hints of like funk, but again that aged sweated apple, bits of leatheriness, skin-like quality, you know, that kind of thing. I think on the Bramley I got a bit more sort of fruit. On this I'm not. I'm getting basically that sort of deeper, darker, sort of more sort of autumnal, sweated sort of character, which I like a lot, I must say. Yeah, Reinette de Brie, it's a late season shot, which I've had from Ross-on-Wye as a single variety a few times actually, and it is sharp, but it's not brutally sharp. I mean, at the age it probably softens the acidity a bit, but it's not brutally sharp. It's lighter and fresher, but you still get some of that cider apple quality. It's nothing like a sort of cooking apple or something like that, or a Bramley. Nice, almost a slight hint of maybe pastry, a little bit of butteriness. Let's try it. Yeah. So less acid than the Bramley, more tannic. It's a late season sharp. I assume that means it's going to have a slightly thicker skin, more sugar, that kind of thing. Maybe you get a bit more tannin in it than you would get in just a plain sharp apple, because there's degrees of scale. It's not sharp, bittersweet, bitter sharp, you know, sweet, sharp, whatever. It's not as distinct as that. They blur into one a little bit. So I feel this has probably got a bit more tannin in it than a Bramley would have for sure, because it does feel more tannic. Hint of leatheriness on the back, minerality. Nice bubbles as well. This feels like a proper trad dry cider. And that leatheriness is making itself known a bit more now. So that astringency, with a slight bitter tannic element, leathery character, which I would call it. Hints of maybe plum, maybe something like that, like a plummy sort of flavour. So think fruit, but with no sugar whatsoever. And again, like the pit out of a stone fruit, I get that sort of feeling about it as well, like the actual taste of the pit itself. I get something of that about the character of these as well. I don't want to say nutty, but it's something like that pit, that stone you get. There's something about that, about these ciders for sure. I mean, Ashton Bitter is indeed bitter. It really is. I mean, it's a bittersweet, I think. It is a bittersweet. But by gum, it's on the more bitter end of things. Really pronounced tannin. I mean, this is for people who really like bold, dry ciders. Lovely bubbles though. I think this is a food cider. I think because of the bold tannins in it. I think it would be better to have it with something, you know, something fatty, to, you know, bring a bit of oil greasiness to the proceedings to counteract that bold tannin. I think you could have something sort of sweet with it as well. I mean, I'm going to say like cloth bound cheddar, like a proper cloth bound cheddar. I mean, name one, you know, Westcombe, Montgomery's, Pitchfork, yeah, etc. Well, even like something like Lincolnshire Porter might be nice. That's bordering on an Alpine style because they cook the cheese to a higher temperature, 50 degrees. So it's getting into the sort of territory of a cooked curd, a mountain cheese. We start to get slightly sweeter flavours and slightly more springy texture, slightly less acid. But that would work with this as well, the sweetness. I think you could even have it with like a mountain cheese as well. Something that is actually sweet, like Gruyere of some description, Comté, Beaufort, something like that. And I think that would really work. Beaufort, I'm thinking, if it's not too sweet, too much white chocolate in it, that would work. Has actually got white chocolate in it, but you do get like a white chocolate flavour, and a cocoa element as well sometimes. I think that sort of thing would work really well with it. In fact, I really want to have a bit of that with this right now. I really do. One of Albert's favourites, Letiva, that sort of pineapple characteristic, smokiness, fattiness, crunchiness, into sweetness. That would work really well with this as well, I think. Yeah. This is definitely something that you want to have with food, and it would bring it into its own much more than it does just in the glass like this. That's my feeling about it anyway. However, people who like those big, bold, tannic dry ciders, you're going to like this. You're going to like it. I guarantee it. So there you go, guys. Thank you for joining me in my cider shed. I hope you join me again. But until that time, cheers.